9 o'clock, so we'll call this admin meeting to order. Everybody come today. Now we're a little. Not our usual meeting right now. I hope that our next meeting will be in a commission change. We will see. We'll see. It's gonna be, it may be kind of fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So moving on to awards and presentations. First item on the agenda will be a presentation about monuments and memorials in Houston County. Dr. Martin Olaf will be here. He's from Troy Dothan and director of the Wiregrass Archives. I'll talk to him a little bit. He's spent a lot of time sort of documenting historical and potentially historical monuments. So he'll be here to talk more about that. Any objection or questions about that? Any objection putting that on the item number 2 is a proclamation for foster care month. Ms. Tori Nelson will be here from Houston County DHR. Any objections to that one going on the agenda? No objection. Item number 3 is a proclamation for National Salvation Army Week. Major Linda Payton will be here. Been here for a couple of years. She will be here for that proclamation. Any objections to that one going on the agenda? Okay. Item number 4 is a proclamation for National Corrections Officers Week. Sheriff Donald Blunt has asked that we place this item on the agenda, and we have certainly obliged him. Any objections to that one going on the agenda? No objection. And then item number 5 is a proclamation for National Police Week. Any objection to that one? Placed on the agenda. All right, we will move into our regular agenda items. We have no consent agenda this week. Item number 1 is request to authorize resolution to approve subrecipient agreement, expand ARPA funds for the town of Rehoboth infrastructure project. So this has been in the works for some time, and it's finally gotten to the point where we can vote on this. And once we do, the town of Rehoboth to be able to start spending money, and we will be able to reimburse them for those expenditures. Now, the project will not be complete. Tyler still has some monitoring, and here as the, I forget what's your term? The fiduciary agent.
Head pain in the butt.
Yeah, we'll go with that. There's still some monitoring to go that will go along with this project, but town of Rehoboth will be able to commence work. We have the mayor of Rehoboth here. We answer any questions. Peter has any questions, or y'all have any questions for Peter or Tyler or anybody else? Okay. Any objection for this item going on the agenda? Okay. Item number 2, we'll let Peter talk more about this. Is a request to approve bank qualified general obligation debt with Smart Bank to purchase 3 garbage trucks and 1 bulldozer. Approve accompanying budget amendment and authorize chairman to execute financing documents. Peter.
Thank you. Gentlemen may recall, and I'm sure as Barclay feels personally all too well, that these garbage trucks have been on order for almost 20 months.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Finally, they came in. One came in January, one came in February, and the last one came in the beginning of April, as I remember. It was just, when I say came in, it came into the CAT. It was just delivered. Those was just delivered last Friday, Thursday.
No, we've had them for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Oh, okay, all right. But we just got the invoice.
Yes.
And so there was sort of a bit of a fire drill to decide how we're going to pay for these approved items. Now, the dozers are approved, the garbage trucks have been approved. And they were actually approved in this year's budget to be financed. The bulldozer was new, but you, Parker, could talk about the, obviously the old bulldozer.
Bulldozer is a 90 remodel that we have patched and patched and patched, and we just can't get parts for anymore. So we've patched it up to sell it, and we need to replace that machine.
So I got a call from Buddy last Thursday, and so I reached out to Smart Bank, which did our last general obligation warrant, as you all may recall, as opposed to a lease. This is more of a general obligation warrant. It's not tying these pieces of equipment to a title being held by the bank. And they were able to, within 36 hours, turn around and give me a proposal for that general obligation order as a bank qualified financing. And although I didn't get the final invoice until late, I guess on Friday, I got it on Friday and I passed it on to them. They haven't been able to update their proposal, but I don't expect the rate to change. And we have two options to choose from, but the rate is under 5.25 on either option for 3 years.
So it's pretty
And
good.
there's no prepayment penalty. So if at some point, like, we'll talk about in the budget coming up.
Yeah.
We can get out of that financing at our discretion.
And just so y'all know, to the Dozier, we called CAT and they actually had one on their yard. And we're by ordering it now, there's gonna be a price increase this month of like 5%. And then there's gonna be another price increase next fall. So if we waited and did it in October, this $220,000 Dozier would be $240,000 in 6 months. So I had talked with Chairman Shoup about it. He, we talked about it, so.
Yeah, I appreciate you staying on top of that stuff. I know you've always done a good job kind of monitoring price increases. Let's talk about the garbage trucks and really all equipment just for a second. So are we still seeing that, that lead time? If we ordered something today, like if we ordered a new garbage truck, say we need it, when do you think we would get it? Or is that
18 months, 2 years. That's why we're ordering. In our budget, we've got 3 trucks. For the budget, because we just got trucks last year, if we order them this fall, they won't come in until the next year.
Gotcha. That's 25 or 6.
So. And the garbage trucks at year 5, they really start giving you some issues with the arm. That arm has went in and out so many times. So if we can go to a 3-year rotation, we shouldn't have very much maintenance on them at all. And so, and sanitation kind of covers itself. So, but our maintenance costs to go down, budget to be less in the shop, and the trucks can be on the road running, so.
Plus you get that news truck out there. Getting the stuff out of the ditches, isn't that?
We got, 2 new ones for those, yes. So, I mean, sanitation's really in good shape.
Yeah. Any questions? All right, any objections to this item going on the agenda? No objections. Right. Item number 3 is a request to approve, request to approve resolution approving one-time exemption of debt payment prohibition for Houston County EMS Association regarding Cottonwood Volunteer Rescue. So y'all remember, we signed an MOU, both we and the Rescue Association signed an MOU that would prohibit the repayment of debt with the funds that we allocated. The thought being behind that we wanted to, any funds that we gave to the association, we wanted that to enhance the services and not just go pay out debt. So, but in discussions with members of the association, I think it would be in our best interest. I think it would be in the citizens' best interest, and certainly the Cottonwood Rescue's best interest for us to approve this one-time exemption. They are not paying off any random debt that they've approved. They're paying off Zoll Monitor and I think the stretcher that were approved items through the MOU. So if we allow them to pay this off, their finance would be a lot better. They'll be able to pay employees to make rescues, and service should be much more reliable. Yeah, Mr. Forrester, Brett here with us to answer any questions. You have any statement you'd like to make or anything like that?
I just want to reiterate that this will go strictly to pay off equipment that was purchased prior to this funding becoming available. But it is equipment that is approved through the MOU, which is why the EMS Association was comfortable asking for this resolution.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it. So, any questions? What's the total figure? Oh, I don't remember. It's not in here. 37. All right. Any other questions?
And that will get y'all out of that.
Got a little more on one item, but other than that, we completely out of that.
Anything else? Any objection to this item going on the agenda? No objection.
No objection.
Item number 4 is to approve vehicle use policy for Houston County. So this will be policy number 57. I know we've been approving a few of these policies here lately. So currently, there really is no policy as to which employee should or should not have a county vehicle. And this will seek to establish that, and there may be some instances where employees will have had a vehicle and will have that taken away, but I can't imagine there's going to be a lot change, to be honest with you. So, but it's just a way to tighten up and it improves, we're approving a process by which an employee would obtain take-home privileges, and it establishes also appropriate and inappropriate uses of county vehicles when they have been taken home. So currently, there really is no standard. So there's really nothing to hold people accountable to, nothing to hold ourselves accountable to. And this will establish that. I know we have been in discussions with the company that will provide GPS tracking for county vehicles. Probably going to approve that in the budget, which is how to start in October. But if someone were to say we go forward with GPS tracking, and someone does something they're not supposed to, like using it to drive to church on Sunday, that would be a inappropriate use. So people go to church, but they just don't need to take the county vehicle. Don't need to load up the family of the county vehicle to go to church on Sunday and use county gas for such a trip. So if someone were to do that, really, there's no policy against doing that. So this will establish a policy that sort of defines appropriate and inappropriate uses. Now, there's 4 items listed under appropriate and 6 items listed under inappropriate. These lists are not exhaustive, so this will always be on a case-by-case basis. But I don't think you can create a policy that has an exhaustive list of everything that should be approved and everything that should not be. Questions? Any objections? to this item going? No comments from the public. Any objection for this item going on the agenda? No objection. Item number 5 is a request to award bid for hot plant mix to lowest bidder meeting specs, Mid-South paving. I did have a question. We got 2 bidders on this, Barkley. What happened to Lewis?
His plant's not up and running just yet.
Oh, okay. I guess I just thought they were.
They got one, they just ain't quite cranked it off yet.
Yeah.
But to rid of that, our asphalt prices come down $25 a ton, so.
Pretty good.
Hell, yeah.
Competition is a good thing. Any questions? Any questions?
No question,
No questions.
Chairman, no questions to be answered by the public.
From the
Okay.
public. I have
Thank you. I just
seen
wanted that on-
and I will not explain that again, okay? Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right. Any questions? All right, any objection to this item going on the agenda? No objection. Thank you. Item number 6 is a request for the chairman to negotiate the agreement to obtain professional services with Poly Inc. for design of a regional strategic stockpile warehouse. Tyler, do you want to talk about this project a little bit? I know we've, y'all probably are aware of the project. This is the EMA/ADPH storage building that has been built behind the department, behind the Houston County Health Department. So we have selected, a little bit of back and forth, selected Poly to help us with this project. Time is of the essence. Question? Any objection to this item going on the agenda? Objection. All right. There being no other items on the agenda for the admin meeting, we will be adjourned and we will convene at 10 a.m. for our business meeting. Thank you for coming. All right. Thank you.